Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I'm your host, Keith, your man of letters, here to bring you knowledge, information, and a bit of entertainment. Welcome back to the second part of our audiobook. This one's been a lot of fun so far. It's called Your Forces and How to Use Them. Nothing necessarily too new, but we have uncovered at least one or two exquisite gems to add to our arsenal of thought and action. And happy to have you guys back. All the new people, thanks for being here. Thank you for considering to subscribe, or thanks for just being here, period. It's been a fun ride. Thanks for the support, the Patreon donations, thanks for the Etsy shop people. Thank you everyone who's making the dream come true. We appreciate the hell out of you. We're going to start in just a few moments. Let people get a chance to trickle in. So you guys feel free to roll up some oregano, pour a cup of tea, maybe a glass of wine, maybe a cold brewski, whatever it is that really gets you there to that happy place, you know what I mean? What's up, Smith? Nice to see you. Also, everyone, do me a huge solid and smash that like button if you're in the room right now, so that we can win the YouTube algorithm battle and get as many people in here as possible, as soon as possible, because it's fun. It's more fun when there's more of us, you know what I mean? Not that you guys aren't enough. Random, but I was just watching some old videos of you. Do you still shower with the goggles on? No, because I don't live in the same spot anymore, and my other shower, the nozzle was a tiny shower where the nozzle just pointed directly at my face, so I really had no option but to just take it in the face, so I rocked goggles. Now I have a little more convenient of a shower head, so I can sort of position and angle myself, but my eyes still turn bloodshot from the shower. It sucks. Hey Sandy, how's it going? Hello everybody. As per usual, help me out with the if anything weird's going on with the audio or something like that. If your video buffers at any point, just hit the refresh button. That usually will fix it. Hey Sochi Smith, how's it going, Sochi? Nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hope we're doing well. I read there are some fires spreading in Cali. I thought I smelled fire. The past couple of days you can smell it. I wonder where they are. Because it's been smelling like burnt countryside the past couple of days, but I can't. We're probably not very close to them. I am Zangia. Oh, I was totally thinking about doing a video for advice for upcoming or new YouTubers, or any YouTubers for that matter. Yeah, I do have some advice for you. This might not be the video for it. Maybe we can do another video and I can post something. I want to make sure I don't eat up too much time from our little reading by candlelight here. I would like to keep it short and sweet, if you know what I mean. No echoing, great. The echoing was totally my fault last time. I know I was like, I don't know what's going on. I had two inputs opened at the same time, one from my microphone and one from my computer, and as a result there was an echo. It wasn't an echo, you guys just heard my voice coming through twice. It was my bad. But we should have that fixed now. Cool. Just started my dreads and that video killed me. I know. I'll do more dready videos for you guys too. I'm gonna get a cup of water and we'll start the thing. So if you're in here, stick around. Give me just a minute, and I'm gonna get a glass of water. Maybe take some of Alchemy's gold elixir that he makes.
I need some water too.
Alright. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is I, your host, Keith Manilators, here for knowledge, information, and hopefully, if none of those things, at the very least, a bit of entertainment. We're reading... what's the name of the book again? Your Forces and How to Use Them, by Christian Larson. Take your shoes off, stay a while, make yourselves at home. Thank you for being here, everyone. You could be anywhere, but you're chilling with the squad, and I appreciate the hell out of that. Okay. Well, Braxton, it won't be me doing much of the saying this evening. It'll be mostly the book that we're reading. Without further ado, let's begin. Christian Larson's Your Forces and How to Use Them. Chapter 3. The Use of Mind in Practical Action. Many lives to move forward. To move forward is to live more. To live more is to be more and do more. And it is being and doing that constitutes the path to happiness. The more you are, the more you do, the richer your life, the greater your joy. But being and doing must always live together as one. To try to be much and not to try to do much is to find life a barren waste. To try to do much and not try to be much is to find life a burden too heavy and wearisome to bear. The being of much gives the necessary inspiration and the necessary power to the doing. The doing of much gives the necessary expression to the being of much. And it is the bringing forth of being through the act of doing that produces happiness. That is happiness. Being much gives capacity for doing much. Doing much gives expressions to the richest and the best that is within us. And the more we increase the richness of that which is within us, the more we increase our happiness, provided we increase in the same proportion the expression of that greater richness. The first essential is provided for by the being of much, the second by the doing of much, and the secret of both may be found by him who lives to move forward. In the present age, it is the power of mind that rules the world, and therefore it is evident that he who has acquired the best use of the power of mind will realize the greatest success, and reach the highest places that attainment and achievement hold in store. The man who wins is the man who can apply in practical life every part of his mental ability, and who can make every action. We sometimes wonder why there are so many capable men and admirable women who do not reach those places in life that they seem to deserve. But the answer is simple. They do not apply the power of mind as they should. Their abilities and qualities are either misdirected or applied only in parts. These people, however, should not permit themselves to become dissatisfied with fate, but should remember that every individuality who learns to make full use of the power of their mind will reach their goal. They will realize their desire and will positively win. There are several reasons why, though the principal reason is found in the fact that when the power of the mind is used correctly in working out what we wish to do, and this fact becomes evident when we realize that the power of the mind is not only the ruling power in the world, but is also the ruling power in man himself. All other faculties in man are ruled by the power of his mind. It is the action of his mind that determines the action of all the other forces in his possession. Therefore, to secure the results desired, he must give his first thought to the scientific and constructive application of mental action. In a preceding chapter, it was stated that the I am is the ruling principle in man. And from that statement, the conclusion may be drawn that the I am is the ruling power as well, but this is not strictly correct. There is a difference between principle and power, though for practical purposes it is not necessary to consider the abstract phase of this difference. All that is necessary is to realize that the I am directs the mind, and that the power of the mind directs and controls everything else in the human system. It is the mind that occupies the throne, but the I am is the power behind the throne. This being true, it becomes highly important to understand how the power of the mind should be used. But before we can understand the use of this power, we must learn what the power actually is. Generally speaking, we may see that the power of the mind is the sum total of all the forces of the mental world, including those forces that are employed in the process of thinking. The power of mind includes the power of the will, the power of desire, of feeling, and the power of thought. It includes conscious action in all its phases and subconscious action in all its phases. In fact, it includes anything and everything that is placed in action through the mind, by the mind, or in the mind. And to use the power of the mind, the first essential is to direct every mental action toward the goal in view. And this direction must not be occasional but constant. Most minds, however, do not apply this law. They think about a certain thing one moment and about something else the next. At a certain hour, their mental actions work along a certain line, and at the next hour, those actions work along a different line. Sometimes the goal in view is one thing, and sometimes another. So the actions of the mind do not move constantly toward a certain definite goal, but are mostly scattered. We know, however, that every individual who is actually working themselves steadily and surely toward the goal they have in view invariably directs all the power of their thoughts upon that goal. In their minds, not a single mental action is thrown away, not a single mental force wasted. All the power that is in them is being directed to work for what they wish to accomplish. And the reason that every power responds in this way is because they are not thinking of one thing now and something else the next. They are thinking all the time of what they wish to attain and achieve. The full power of mind is turned upon that object. And as mind is the ruling power, the full power of all their other forces will tend to work for the same object. In using the power of mind as well as the other forces we possess, the first question to answer is what we really want, or what we really want to accomplish. And when this question is answered, the one thing that is wanted should be fixed so clearly in thought that it can be seen by the mind's eye every single minute. But the majority do not know what they really want. They may have some vague desire, but they have not determined clearly, definitely, and positively what they really want. And this is one of the principal causes of failure. So long as we do not know definitely what we want, our forces will be scattered, and so long as our forces are scattered, will we accomplish but little, or fail entirely. When we know what we want, and proceed to work for it with all the power and ability that is in us, we may rest assured that we will get it. When we direct the power of thinking, the power of will, the power of mental action, the power of desire, the power of ambition, in fact, all the power we possess on the one thing we want, on the one goal we wish to desire, it is not difficult to understand why success in a greater and greater measure must be realized. To illustrate the subject further, we will suppose that you have a certain ambition and continue to concentrate your thought and the power of your mind upon that ambition every minute for an indefinite period with no cessation whatsoever. The result will be that you will gradually and surely train all the forces within you to work for the realization of that ambition, and in the course of time, the full capacity of your entire mental system will be applied in working for that particular thing. On the other hand, suppose you do as most people do under average circumstances. Oh, lost my spot. Suppose, after you have given your ambition a certain amount of thought, you come to the conclusion that possibly you might succeed better along another line. Then you begin to direct the power of your mind along that other line. Later on, you come to the conclusion that there is still another channel through which you might succeed, and you proceed accordingly to direct your mind upon this third ambition. Then what will happen? Simply this: you will make 3 good beginnings, but in every case you will stop before you have accomplished anything. There are thousands of capable men and women, however, who make this mistake every year of their lives. The full force of their mental system is directed upon a certain ambition only for a short time, then it is directed elsewhere. They never continue long enough along any particular line to secure results from their efforts, and therefore results are never secured. Then there are the other minds who give most of their attention to a certain ambition and succeed fairly well, but give the rest of their attention to a number of minor ambitions that have no particular importance. Thus they are using only a fraction of their power in a way that will tell. The rest of this is thrown away along a number of lines through which nothing is gained. But in this age, efficiency is demanded everywhere in world's work, and anyone who wants to occupy a place that will satisfy their ambition and desire cannot afford to waste even a small part of the power they may possess. They need it all along the line of their leading ambition, and therefore should not permit counter attractions to occupy their mind for a second. Give me a second to make sure this. If you have a certain ambition or a certain desire, think about that ambition at all times. Keep that ambition before your mind constantly, and do not hesitate to make your ambition as high as possible. The higher you aim, the greater will be your achievements. Though that does not necessarily mean that you will realize your highest aims as fully as you have pictured them in your mind. But the fact is that those who have low aims usually realize what is even below their aims, while those who have high aims usually realize very nearly, if not fully, what their original ambition calls for. The principle is to direct the power of mind upon the very highest, the very largest, and the very greatest mental conception of that which we intend to achieve. The first essential, therefore, is to direct the full power of mind and thoughts upon the goal in view, and to continue to direct the mind in all that manner every minute, regardless of circumstances or conditions. The second essential is to make every mental action positive. When we desire certain things, or when we think of certain things we wish to attain or achieve, the question should be if our mental attitudes at the time are positive or negative. To answer this, we will only have to remember that every positive action always goes towards that which receives its attention, while a negative action always retreats. A positive action is an action that you feel when you realize that every force in your entire system is pushed forward, and that it is passing through what may be termed an expanding and enlarging state of feeling or consciousness. The positive attitude of mind is also indicated by the feeling of a firm, determined fullness throughout the nervous system. When every nerve feels full, strong, and determined, you are in the positive attitude, and whatever you may do at the time will produce results along the line of your desire or your ambition. When you are in a positive state of mind, you are never nervous or disturbed. You are never agitated or strenuous. In fact, the more positive you are, the deeper your calmness, and the better your control over your entire system. The positive man is not one who rushes helter-skelter here and there, regardless of judgment or constructive action, but one who is absolutely calm and controlled under every circumstance, and yet so thoroughly full of energy that every atom in his being is ready, under every circumstance, to accomplish and achieve. Thanks for the links, Sir Smith. If you could do me a fave, Smith, and just drop a comment in the comment box every once in a while so I know that the computer hasn't frozen. That would be awesome. Carrying on. The energy is not permitted to act, however, until the proper time arrives, and then its action goes directly to the goal in view. The positive mind is always in harmony with itself, while the negative mind is always out of harmony, and thereby loses the great part of its power. Positiveness always means strength stored up, power held in the system under perfect control, until the time of action, and during the time of action directed constructively under the same perfect control. In the positive mind, all the actions of the mental system are working in harmony and being fully directed toward the object in view, while in the negative mind, those same actions are scattered, restless, nervous, disturbed, moving here and there, sometimes under direction, but most of the time not. That the one should invariably succeed is therefore just as evident as that the other should invariably fail. Scattered energy cannot do otherwise but fail, while positively directed energy simply must succeed. A positive mind is like a powerful stream of water that is gathering volume and force from hundreds of tributaries all along its course. The further on it goes, the greater its power, until when it be something like a stream, that the further it flows, the more divisions it makes, until when it reaches its goal, instead of being one powerful stream, it has become 100 small, weak, shallow currents. I'm going to stop right there and say one thing. You guys might recognize the stream analogy from Hermetics. It talks about the law of, we talk about this everywhere. You're passive and you're active. Well, if you remember my lectures before, the subconscious mind I tend to preach is the 24/7 broadcast of that which we wish to manifest. Not even what we wish to manifest, but what we actually are. Ooh, Ice Cream Man, what up? And our subconscious mind is everything we are. It's what we think, what we feel, what we act on, what we don't act on. The books we read, the movies we watch, everything that is in our existence sort of gets plugged into the subconscious mind. It programs the subconscious mind, in other words. Once that subconscious mind is programmed, it then reverberates, it resonates. It doesn't resonate. It does resonate. It broadcasts the frequency of what you are on every level. So I want to take this further of what he's saying on just thinking positive thoughts. Because what he's saying is the more positive thoughts you think on your goal, the more it becomes manifest. But it's, unless he says it later, but I just want to clarify now. What happens when we think about something 24/7? What happens when we allow ourselves to become overfilled with a certain thing is we start to program the subconscious mind so that we don't have to think about that thing every second of every day. Because once it's programmed into the subconscious mind, like the stream that he's talking about, like water, it's constantly sort of radiating, constantly influencing its surroundings. As a result, think about something long enough, and the thing becomes you become the thing, and it becomes second nature. Manifesting a certain thing, excelling at a certain thing becomes second nature because it is second nature. It's become you. Also lost my spot, damn it. Where were we? Nice, okay. I found my spot. That's pretty much it. I wanted, the reason why I brought that up is because in this sort of spiritual community that we're used to hearing, the idea of just think positive thoughts has been played out. Not because it's not useful, but because it's become something that's explained and parroted but not felt. You know what I mean? It takes a while. You'll understand something as a concept, but you won't feel it as a truth, quotations truth or quotations reality sort of thing. And then usually it's driven by a experience that we've had where we can sort of root that learning in a physical experience. And it's like, oh, I get it now. So that's all. I just wanted to clarify that sort of concept, and maybe I could reel it in a little bit more for you guys. Or maybe I jumped the gun and he's going to say exactly that in these next chapters. I don't know. What up, Shaw Sykes? Nice to see you. Black Goddess, welcome. Okay, we'll keep moving. So, it says to develop positiveness, it is necessary to cultivate those qualities that constitute positiveness. Make it a point to give your whole attention to what you want to accomplish, and give that attention firmness, yet calmness, yet determination. Try to give depth to every desire. Give depth to every desire until you feel as if all the powers of your system were acting not on the surface, but from the greater world within. As this attitude is cultivated, positiveness will become more and more distinct until you can actually feel yourself gaining power and prestige. And the effect will not only be noticed in your own ability to better direct and apply your talents, but others will discover the change. Accordingly, those who are looking for people of power, people who can do things, will look to you as the one to occupy the position that has to be filled. Positiveness, therefore, not only gives you the ability to make a far better use of the forces you possess, but it also gives you personality. That much admired something that will most surely cause you to be selected where people of power are needed. The world does not care for negative personalities. Such personalities look weak and empty and are usually ignored, but everybody is attracted to a positive personality. And it is the positive personality that is always given the preference. Nor is this otherwise but right, because the positive personality has better use of their power and therefore is able to act with greater efficiency wherever they are called upon to act. Not gonna lie though, chapter's been feeling quite dry until now, but that last paragraph, these last two paragraphs, I like, they hit home. Hello, Tracy. Invis asked a great question that I don't know I have the answer to. Not like I have answers to any of your questions, but the question is, if you're listening on the podcast, what if this thing cannot provide for your daily needs? Can't keep dreaming, thinking about this thing 24/7 if I have responsibilities. So I don't know how to answer your question, but I'll answer your question I'm answering my question, which happens to be the same as yours, because that's my same struggle. All right, I have goals, things that I love to do, but I also got to be real, pay the bills, because it takes both, right? We live in a physical world. The physical world, we have certain needs and responsibilities. So I ask that same question, and I'll answer it how I answered it for myself. Take what you can use, leave the rest. Your question is, what if the thing cannot provide your daily needs? I'm assuming you mean financial money needs, because you have bills and shit. Again, I'm giving a conversation to Keith myself. Hey Keith, I get it. You have practical needs. You have a son. You got bills. You're trying to build a name for yourself. You're trying to make ends meet. You have ambitions. You're also okay living out of a cardboard box. That's another sort of contrast to you. There's all kinds of shit going on. I get it. I get it, Keith. But how about this? Find, Keith, something that moves you, something you're passionate about, that can satisfy your daily needs. And my answer is, all right, well, I actually have interest in a lot of different places, and I could easily monetize that. Boom. Perfect example. I started a YouTube channel in like 2014 was my first, 14 was my first YouTube channel. And it was for fun, more or less the same sort of content with a different sort of lens, but the bread and butter is here. Fast forward a few years, now I have another YouTube channel and a family that I have to take care of. I didn't want to stop what I was doing, so instead I started a Etsy shop. It's like, okay, I don't make any money on YouTube ads. I'm making a little bit more now that the channel is bigger, don't get me wrong. But in the early days, I was spending, 30 plus hours a week on YouTube and not making any money off of it. So I thought, all right, well then how can I switch that? Use my imagination, use my creativity, use my skills that I was good at. I thought, hell, I love plants, I'll start slanging plants. I love candles, I'll start making my own and slanging them online. Now I'm making enough money to take care of the bills and enough money to save up. And I'm still doing something that I love, that at one point in my life wasn't giving me anything. So you say, can't keep dreaming of something that's not going to pay my bills. Well, fucking fix it so that it pays your bills. Or find something else that you're super passionate about that's going to pay the bills. I'm super passionate about 4 or 5 different things. You know what I mean? I'm really stoked on 4 or 5 different things. But I had to go with the one that I'm super stoked on that's also going to make me money. You know what I mean? I'm lucky enough to where I chose YouTube as my outlet. And I can do my music, which is one of my loves. I can do my sort of knowledge and learning and studying, which is one of my loves. The podcast stuff, reading, storytelling is one of the things I love. So I maybe not even fortunate enough. I was creative enough and gave it enough thought to find a way to utilize all my passions into something that's going to make me money. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully that helps you, or at least triggered an idea for you to research some more and at least get you moving in the right direction, if that makes sense. Is that Anubis? Yes, it is Anubis. I had two and I dropped the other one, his arm broke off. Yeah, Agent Smith said it's the acting on your highest excitement, which is also good advice. Alright, let's continue. Oh man, my phone's at 10%. Uh-oh. Okay, we'll continue. Balls. Where am I at, though? Okay, the third essential in the right use of the mind is to make every mental action constructive. I have a feeling this will help answer your question. The third essential in the right use of the mind is to make every mental action constructive. And a constructive mental action is one that is based upon a deep-seated desire to develop, to increase, to achieve, to attain. In brief, to become larger and greater, and to do something of far greater worth than has been done before. If you will cause every mental action you entertain to have that feeling, constructiveness will soon become second nature to your entire mental system. That is, all the forces of your mind will begin to become building forces, and will continue to build you up along any line through which you may desire to act. Inspire your mind constantly with a building desire, and make this desire so strong that every part of your system will constantly feel that it wants to become greater, more capable, and more efficient. An excellent practice in this connection is to try to enlarge upon all your ideas of things whenever you have a spare moment for real thoughts. This practice will tend to produce a growing tendency in every process of your thinking. Another good practice is to inspire every mental action with more ambition. We cannot have too much ambition. We may have too much aimless ambition, but we cannot have too much real constructive ambition. If your ambition is very strong and is directed towards something definite, every action of your mind, every action of your personality, and every action of your faculties will become constructive. That is, all those actions will be inspired by the tremendous force of your ambition to work for the realization of that ambition. Never permit restless ambition. Whenever you feel the force of ambition, direct your mind at once in a calm, determined manner upon that which you really want to accomplish. Make this a daily practice, and you will steadily train all your faculties and powers not only to work for the realization of that ambition, but become more and more efficient in that direction. Before long, your forces and faculties will be sufficiently competent to accomplish what you want. In the proper use of the mind, therefore, these three essentials should be applied constantly and thoroughly. First, direct all the powers of your mind, all the powers of your thought, and all your thinking upon the goal you have in view. Second, train every mental action to be deeply and calmly positive. Emphasis on calmly. Third, train every mental action to be constructive, to be filled with a building spirit, to be inspired with a ceaseless desire to develop the greater, to achieve the greater, to attain the greater. When you have acquired these three, you will begin to use your forces in such a way that results must follow. You will begin to move forward steadily and surely, and you will be constantly gaining ground. Your mind will have become like the stream mentioned above. It will gather volume. It will gather force as it moves on and on, until finally that volume will be great enough to remove any obstacle in its way, and that force is powerful enough to do anything that you may have in view. In order to apply these three essentials in the most effective manner, there are several misuses of the mind that must be avoided. Avoid the forceful, the aggressive, and the domineering attitudes, and do not permit your mind to become intense unless it is under perfect control. Never attempt to control or influence others in any way whatever. You will seldom succeed in that manner, and when you do, the success will be temporary. Besides, such a practice always weakens your mind. Do not churn the power of your mind upon others, but churn it upon... Where did we just read this? We just read this in another book, talking about not using your will to be imposed on others, but to be imposed on yourself. Was that the interview with the devil? Napoleon Hill? There is only one way by which you can influence others legitimately, and that is through the giving of instruction. But in that case there is no desire to influence. You desire simply to impart knowledge and information. Here to provide knowledge, information, and entertainment. Nice. You would have thought I wrote this book. You desire simply to impart knowledge and information, and you exercise a most desirable influence without desiring to do so. A great many men and women, after discovering the immense power of mind, have come to the conclusion that they might change circumstances by exercising mental power upon those circumstances in some mysterious manner. But such a practice means nothing but a waste of energy. The way to control circumstances is to control the force within yourself to make a greater human being of yourself, and as you become greater and more competent, you will naturally gravitate into better circumstances. In this connection, we should remember that like attracts like. If you want that which is better, make yourself better. If you want to realize the ideal, make yourself more ideal. If you want better friends, make yourself a better friend. If you want to associate with people of worth, make yourself more worthy. If you want to meet that which is agreeable, make yourself more agreeable. If you want to enter conditions and circumstances that are more pleasing, make yourself more pleasing. In brief, whatever you want, produce this something in yourself, and you will positively gravitate towards the corresponding conditions in the external world. As above, so below. I added that last part. But to improve yourself along those lines, it is necessary to apply for that purpose all the power you possess. You cannot afford to waste any of it, and every misuse of the mind will waste power. Avoid all destructive attitudes of the mind, such as anger, hatred, malice, envy, jealousy, revenge, depression, discouragement, disappointment, worry, fear, and so on. Never antagonize. Never resist what is wrong, and never try to get even. Make the best use of your own talent, and the best that is in store for you will positively come your way. When others seem to take advantage of you, do not retaliate by trying to take advantage of them. Use your power in improving yourself so that you can do better and better work. That is how you are going to win in the race. Geo, rosemary is absolutely for your hair, but real talk, you should spray it in your chicken when you're cooking because it tastes incredible. Use anywhere you want. Carrying on. Later on, those who try to take advantage of you will be left in the rear. Remember, those who are dealing unjustly with you or with anybody are misusing their mind. They are therefore losing their power, and will in the course of time begin to lose ground. But if you will, in the meantime, are turning the full power of your mind to good account, you will not only gain more power, but you will soon begin to gain ground. You will gain and continue to gain in the long run, while others who have been misusing their minds will lose mostly everything in the long run. That is how you are going to win, and win splendidly regardless of ill treatment or opposition. A great many people imagine that they can promote their own success by trying to prevent the success of others. But it is one of the greatest delusions in the world. If you want to promote your own success as thoroughly as your capacity will permit, take an active interest in the success of everybody, because this will not only keep your mind in the success attitude and cause you to think success all the time, but it will enlarge your mind so as to give you a greater and better grasp upon the fields of success. If you are trying to prevent the success of others, you are acting in the destructive attitude, which sooner or later will react on others. But if you are taking an active interest in the success of everybody, you are entertaining only constructive attitudes. And these will sooner or later accumulate in your own mind to add volume and power to the forces of success you are building up in yourself. In this connection, you may well ask why those succeed who do succeed, why so many succeed only in part, and why so many fail utterly. These are questions that occupy the minds of most people, and hundreds of answers have been given, but there is only one answer that goes to rock bottom. There's people who fail, and who continue to fail all along the line, fail because the power of their minds is either in a habitual negative state or is always misdirected. If the power of mind is not working positively and constructively for a certain goal, you are not going to succeed. If your mind is not positive, it is negative, and negative minds float with the stream. Ooh, there's that going with the stream again. I'm telling you, I think I wrote this in the past life. You know, I always hate on that phrase, just go with the flow. And the reason why I hate that phrase is because some people go with any old flow, and going with any old flow is the quickest way to turn into a sheep who can't think for themselves and is useless of their own volition. Remember, we want to create the stream and then get inside of it so that we know where it's going, or know damn well where the stream is going that we're about to get into. That way we could, which might even be better, because you don't have to do any work. Like, oh sweet, alright, that stream's already going, I know for a fact where it's going to end up, or I have a good idea where it's going to end up, I'm hitting it. So anywho, we must remember that we are in the midst of all kinds of circumstances, some of which are for us and some of which are against us. And we will either have to make our own way or drift. Ooh, drifters, oh drifters. And if we drift, we go wherever the stream goes. But most of the streams of human life are found to float in the world of the ordinary and the inferior. Therefore, if you drift, you will drift with the inferior, and your goal will be failure. That Napoleon Hill book was so much fun. When we analyze the minds of people who have failed, we invariably find that they are either negative, non-constructive, or aimless. Their forces are scattered, and what is in them is seldom applied constructively. There is an emptiness about their personality that indicates negativeness. There is an uncertainty in their facial expressions that indicates the absence of definite ambition. There is nothing of a positive, determined nature going on in their mental world. They have not taken definite action along any line. They are dependent upon fate and circumstance. They are drifting with some stream, and that they should accomplish little, if anything, is inevitable. This does not mean, however, that their mental world is necessarily unproductive. In fact, those whose very minds are in many instances immensely rich with possibilities. The trouble is, those possibilities continue to be dormant, and what is in them is not being brought forth and trained for definite action or actual results. What these people should do is to proceed at once to comply with the 3 essentials mentioned above, and before many months there will be a turn in the lane. They will soon cease to drift and will then begin to make their own life, their own circumstances, and their own future. In this connection, it is well remembered that negative people and non-constructive minds never attract that which is helpful in their circumstances. The more you drift, the more people you meet who also drift. While, on the other hand, when you begin to make your own life and become positive, you begin to meet more positive people and more constructive circumstances. This explains why God helps them that helps themselves. When you begin to help yourself, which means to make the best of what is in yourself, you begin to attract to yourself more and more of those helpful things that may exist all about you. In other words, constructive forces attract constructive forces. Positive forces attract positive forces. A growing mind attracts elements and forces that help to promote growth. And people who are determined to make more and more of themselves are drawn more and more into circumstances through which they will find the opportunity to make more of themselves. And this law works not only in connection with the external world, but also the internal world. I want to stop there and add something again, if I may. We're almost done with this chapter. Ooh, get it. Something came. So I think the Arcturians were channeled that last paragraph because I wanted to add something. Speaking of excitement, following your highest excitement, I've been more. Where can I start without making this too confusing or too scattered? I believe that we, just as we can do something that excites us most, that we can also generate something that excites us most. Because again, if we are only ever acting on our emotions, we are only ever reacting, right? Sad, I stay away from it. If it's happy, I go towards it. If exciting, I go towards it. If it's boring, I run away from it. That's all reaction to external stimuli, which is not bad. It's just that's half the game. We have, I feel like, as humans, what sets us apart is that we have the ability to generate emotions. We can cultivate our own excitement. We can cultivate our own sadness. We can cultivate our own anger. We have the possibility. We have the will to create emotion. With that being said, speaking on acting on your highest excitement, what you should do, etc. When you have a definiteness of purpose, like Napoleon Hill calls it, I bet you these are written at the same time. The verbiage is very similar. If we have our thought in mind and we're acting it day in and day out, and we're seeing the progress and we're picking up our own momentum, you know what I mean? We're starting to generate our own circumstances, right? We're starting to be more proactive about life. We have a sense of self-manifested power in the form of our external world, like the things that we're starting to accomplish and starting to grow in the external world, but also power in our internal world, in that we are now capable of generating our own emotions. Example, I'll use myself as an example. It's like, I'm not always excited to work on my nursery. Like, I don't like digging holes. I don't like being, despite how I look, I don't like being dirty all the fucking time. Like, I'm like a goddamn hobbit. My feet are always dirty. I'm like, I don't like that all the time. I do some of the time. It's cool. You can be dirty and work in nursery, but like, I don't always want to be getting bit by bugs and mosquitoes at night. I don't want to grow a plant for 6 months and then have it be destroyed, cut in half by a fucking falling branch or something. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that really don't excite me about running a nursery, running like a plant business. But at this point, it doesn't matter doing something that I'm like, I don't really want to handle that right now. Like, that doesn't matter, because I can see, holy shit, look how much money I'm making off this nursery. I'm growing tens of exotic endangered trees from around the world. Like, I'm making hundreds of dollars a week selling seeds. Like, who fucking does that? You know what I mean? Who does that? I do that. It's your boy, Manolers, Keith Garcia. I'm doing that. Like that, and that gets, like, I'm able to generate my own emotions because of the continued sort of momentum that I've built for myself. And that's he might mention that. I assume that he'll mention that in the next coming chapters. But that's something to be noted, that it is possible to generate your own emotions, to generate your own powerful, positive emotions that you're creating and that you're not just reacting to. Because that's one of my criticisms on always following your excitement, is that sometimes doing shit that's not exciting is part of what has to be done in order to be in order to create the life that you want to create. Right? So we're not always going to be doing the most excitable things. Not to mention, some people confuse excitement with escape. It's one thing I've been realizing these past couple years is, am I really excited by that, or am I just using that as an escape to avoid something that I don't want to deal with? People do that with partying, drugs, sex, and rock and roll, the whole 9 yards. Some people do it with healthy things. Like, some people have a work drive, and their work drive acts as their thing that they're using to avoid something that they want to deal with. You know what I mean? So it's the acting on your highest excitement at all times is a tricky one. It's a tricky one. What percent are we at with my phone? 8%. We should be able to finish this chapter. And maybe we'll only do one chapter today instead of two, because this chapter has been long as hell. Let me see. Yada yada. Some friends become enemies. Some enemies become friends. Are we still alive? We're still alive. What these people should do. Oh no, but this explains when you begin to make a positive turn with power. Yeah. Okay. He who has control of his own mind has already great riches. He has sufficient wealth to be placed among those who have. He is already successful. And if he continues as he has begun, his success will soon appear in the external world. Thus the wealth that existed at first in the internal only will take shape and form in the external. This is a law that is unfailing, and there is not a man or woman on the face of the earth that cannot apply it with the most satisfying results. The reason why so many fail is thus found in the fact that they do not fully and constructively apply the forces and powers they possess. And the reason why so many succeed only to a slight degree is found in the fact that only a small fraction of their power is applied properly. But anyone can learn the full and proper use of all that is in them by applying faithfully the three essentials mentioned above. The reason why those succeed who do succeed is found in the fact that a large measure of their forces and powers is applied according to those three essentials. And as those essentials can be applied by anyone, even to the most perfect degree, there is no reason why all should not succeed. Sometimes we meet people who have only ordinary ability, but who are very successful. Then we meet others who have great ability, but who are not successful, or who succeed only to a slight degree. At first we see no explanation. But when we understand the cause of success as well as the cause of failure, the desired explanation is easily found. The man or woman with ordinary ability, if they comply with the three essentials necessary to the right use of mind, will naturally succeed. Though if they had greater ability, their success would of course become greater in proportion, but the individual who has great ability yet does not apply the three essentials necessary to the right use of mind cannot succeed. The positive and constructive use of the power of mind with a definite goal in view will invariably result in advancement, attainment, and achievement. But if we wish to use that power in its full capacity, The action of the mind must be deep. In addition to the right use of the mind, we must also learn the full use of mind. And as the full use implies the use of the whole mind, the deeper mental fields and forces, as well as the usual mental fields and forces, it is necessary to understand the subconscious, as well as the conscious. End chapter 3. It's a long chapter. Nice. We still live? Are there people in the room still? It's like, yo, Keith, it hasn't been running for the past 15 minutes. Someone asked earlier if this is going to be a playlist. Yes, absolutely, I'll make it a playlist. And when this is all done, I'll be chopping it up and releasing it as one video so that it'll just be easy to find. It's going to be a pain in the ass if this is broken up into 9 videos, you know what I mean? That's also an option. Thanks for the applause, Agent Smith. Thank you kindly. Jordan Ray, what up? Questions, concerns, thoughts? Anyone learn something new? Is just the same old, same old? To a degree, it is the same old, I feel you. But it's also a great reminder. And as the book is saying, we need to be keeping this shit in the forefront as often as possible if we want some real shit to be going down. Everyone new in here, smash that like button, pretty please, with sugar on top. Help me break that YouTube algorithm. We're gonna call it right there, you guys, alright? That was long enough for this one. My voice is feeling scratchy. Thanks you guys, that was quick. Thanks for hitting the like button. Sounds like we're good. Should we end it? Shall we continue? What is chat? One. Julio. No, Smith, but because I don't have your... I was going to say I don't have your address anymore, but I forgot. It's the same one that you ordered on the Etsy shop from. So... Hey, Smith, you want to do this? For your molasses tincture, I'm going to make a custom order on Etsy because the other day, I don't know what happened, but the shipping prices, COVID probably happened, but the shipping prices went up like fucking crazy for out of country. Etsy hooks me up, so I'll make you a custom Etsy order for the molasses tincture, and I'll send it to you through there. That way it's like another $9 more. Plus I'll get an Etsy sale out of it, and I can send you the cash back if you want and just use that same. I'll just cash app you back, and then just do it through Etsy. That'll help. I'd like to hear more if your voice isn't really hurting. Lavender Rose. It's not hurting, it's just kind of, I don't know. I was just getting worn out. It's like Sunday and it's only 7 and I was like, it's kind of, how about this? My buddy sent me a track that he mixed for me. I got a song finished. And I'm going to listen to it right now because he just sent it to me. So wait. We'll listen to the song together and see how long this next chapter is. But I think it was like fucking 13 pages. Come on, man. My phone sucks sometimes. Maybe I can airdrop it. Oh, I forgot that our cool music wasn't playing in the background, guys. Did any of you guys see the interview today on London Real with David Icke? Did anybody see that? Except shit's getting real. Shit got me fired up listening to that. I know what the hell's gonna happen. I'll make a. I wanted to let the thoughts simmer on the video before I made a response to it. But man, we're living in some wild times right now, aren't we? If you're actually paying attention to everything that's going on, like everything, how far technology has come and what they're actually doing with technology and science and their goals and ambitions of where they want science to be in as close as 10 years from now, from genetically modifying humans through RNA vaccinations to interfacing human brains with AI, which what's his name is doing, Elon Musk, to growing humans in laboratories, and like of course the COVID, and like, oh man, there's just it's wild. If the aliens were ever to step in and be like, hey, alright, you guys have gone too far, hopefully it's soon. Cause damn, man. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull it through. You guys are gonna get to hear. Oh, well, let me play the M4A. Alright, hold on. Damn. Sitting pretty in the sunset, wondering when some pretty girls would come strolling my way. Maybe search for some answers, but if I get up, well, who will watch this beautiful day? Damn, he fucking. With my back against the mountains, I look up in the sky and I see the sun burning away. Trying to tempt me to the skyways, looking at me sideways. Well, wipe that stupid grin off your face, off your face. Well, let me ask you something. Why you hang there all aglow? Could you help me out a bit? I just need the. So this is, you guys probably can't hear quality that well. Well, that sweet sensation Damn. I'm releasing an album soon, you guys, and that was the most recent track that was finished, and my good friend mixed and mastered it for me, and it sounds absolutely gorgeous. Let me see if I can convert it to an MP3 file, and then send it to you guys, and then play it through your guys' speaker right now, so you guys can get a behind the scenes share. Info, rename, compress. Now open it in GarageBand. Mango, come on, help a brother out. My back against the that fucking bastard. The original guy who did that for me charged me so much money to mix and master that. My buddy finished it in a day, and it sounds better. My buddy goes by Choice. He was on the channel a while ago. We had a little Joe Rogan style podcast, and you saw him. He's a phenomenal music producer too. But let me see if I can play it for you guys through your speakers, which shouldn't be too difficult to do. What the hell? Oh, for real? You're not gonna work for me? Bounce. Share it to iTunes as an MP3, not an M4A, please. So I've been ignoring your guys' comments. Yeah, Choice mixed it for me. Oh, you fucking would put that in there with the goddamn click. Oh, come on. Export to disk as MP3. Ayo, here we go. Motivation. Damn, you guys are gonna be the first. You're gonna be the first of your kind to hear unreleased, complete Keith Garcia music. You ready for this? Buy some bomb ass noodles and do a mukbang. Lavender Rose. Hopefully someone told Lavender Rose. Man, Lavender Rose, it's such a nice name. Lavender Rose. I can smell it. Where we at? Alright, where we at? We're almost media source. I don't know, where's it at? No. That's the unmixed and mastered version. Damn it, where's it at? Give me a second, you guys. If I exported it to disk, it got dropped in the GarageBand file. So I gotta go to the GarageBand file. Okay. Here we go.
Well, that sweet sensation, take me to a higher elevation. Sitting pretty in the sunset, wondering when some pretty girls would come strolling my way. Maybe search for some answers, but if I get up, well, who will watch this beautiful day? Beautiful day, gonna watch this day. Beautiful day, gonna watch away. With my back against the mountains, I look up in the sky and I see the sun burning away, trying to tempt me to the skyways, looking at me sideways. Well, wipe that stupid grin off your face, off your face. Well, let me ask you something. Why you hang there all aglow? Could you help me out a bit? I just need that one thing, that motivation. Well, that sweet sensation.
Yeah, so I have 4 songs done, 5 songs done, and 1 song to go. And then I'll be able to release my first solo album, you guys. How cool is that? We're just out here reading books and making jams.
So here we are, just dancing in the street. Heart is in the sky, but my mind is racing with my feet. Nowhere to run far away. But that's okay, cause I could stay here every day. All I need is something that helps me fly, some cool new shades or something that might catch your eye. So why, oh why can't you see this thing we need and call it that motivation? Well, that sweet sensation, take me to a higher elevation. Release my frustration, highest meditation, so much motivation, all the good vibration. Permeate me with sensations, all the good vibration. That motivation, well, that sweet sensation, take me to a higher elevation. Release my frustration, highest meditation, so much motivation, all the good vibration. Permanent vacation, permeate me with sensations, all the good vibration. That motivation, well, that sweet sensation, take me to a higher elevation.
Oh man, I'm so happy. That's so cool. I'm so stoked that this album's coming together as it is. Oh, thank you, Michelle. That's funny because I play that song for Atlas, my son, and he fucking dances like he'll run over me with the big old smile on his face, like, "Yo, that's the song." He's like, "Damn, that's you." He's like, "Damn," he starts dancing around and shit. That's so cool. Nice. Peace and blessings, Renee Lottie. We just been hanging out, chilling. We finished the reading. Yeah, I'm gonna take a break though. I don't know if I feel like reading the next chapter. Tomorrow, I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe I might come back tonight. You never know. It's only 7 o'clock over here. It's 3-4 hours before bedtime, so maybe I'll pop back on in a little bit. But yeah, thank you guys kindly. Oh, Shavita, Lila, what's up? I didn't even see you there. Didn't even see you there. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, we'll see you guys soon. All right, take it easy, zip it up, zip it up, zip it out. All right, peace out.